What a beautiful Thursday to be alive. Welcome to the Today in AZ After Show. Sorry, I'm mumbling a little bit. I got a cough drop in right now, but I'm on television, or internet television, so I can't just like pop it out. Good morning to producer Jeff and our director Craig. Howdy, everybody.
It's alive.
He put the heart over you.
Oh, thanks, Craig.
Not me?
No.
Oh, move it over.
He's having a hard time. He's not used to being on camera. I squish your head and I crush you.
I crush your head.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for popping into our segment here on the couch. We're talking about Halloween today. This
right around the corner.
This topic drummed up so much discussion.
Yeah.
We let it bleed into this show a little bit. So let's set the table real quick because we want to get your comments on this. Good morning to everyone popping in. Jackie, Anton, our buddy Gabe popping in, Adrian, Jared. Okay, here's the story. We're 6 days away from Halloween, right? It falls on October 31st every single year.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday this year, which is like the worst day for Halloween. Like
Middle of the week.
yeah, middle of the week. I mean, it's not even close to the weekend. It's not even like a Thursday where you can be like, I'll call in on Friday. It's the worst. Wednesday's the worst day for Halloween. Somebody's trying to change that. They filed one of those petitions online. Apparently, the Halloween Industry Association is a thing. It's made up of companies that design and sell Halloween costumes, decorations, party favors, that kind of stuff. They went to change.org where you can file those petitions that ask the president to do something.
Okay.
In this case, they want to move Halloween from October 31st to the last Saturday of October. So what do you think about the idea of moving Halloween to a Saturday? The people this morning have been fired up about this.
Yeah, we have a lot of comments already on this too. But let's give some background because you gave us some background information.
Yeah, so this came from the viewers this morning. Here are both sides of the issue. Part one, you got to understand as a parent that it's kind of a pain in the butt to get out on a Wednesday.
Right.
And so if it was a Saturday, mom and dad are off, you have all day to get ready, more time to trick or treat, especially when the sun goes down so early this time of year because we don't celebrate daylight savings time. We don't recognize daylight savings time.
I celebrate it.
Yeah. So you understand the reason that they'd want to move it to a Saturday, right?
Right.
But people forget this holiday does have religious significance. So All Saints Day is November 1st. All Souls Day, November 2nd. It's our way of cherishing the memories of those who have passed on.
Right.
Dia
All
del Muerto.
Hallows Eve.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dia de los Muertos.
All Hallows Eve is the 31st. There's a reason that the day is the 31st and not just a random Saturday. But Halloween has become so commercialized that I think people forget that there is some significance to it. Thanksgiving is not on the same date every year because there really is no religious significance to it. It just sort of bounces around. But Christmas is set on the 25th for a very specific reason. It's the day that Christians honor the birth of Christ. You know what I mean? April Fool's Day is never April 2nd, right? It's always April 1st. I don't think there's a religious significance there. That was a bad example. Anyway, what are the people saying?
Karen says, leave it alone. I like this one. Susie says, we've lived with Halloween on Halloween for eons. We've survived midweek Halloweens. Silly people want to mess with tradition. Really? New parents, convenience for you or for your kids?
Don says, Halloween is October 31. Next, we'll be moving Christmas. The slippery slope argument there.
Exactly. Easter's always on a Sunday.
That's true.
That's a religious holiday.
But it's not every Sunday. It's not the same Sunday every year, is it?
No,
because
it's always
moves
on
around.
a Sunday. Yeah, jumps around.
So Tiffany's for it. She says, I've been saying this for years. Please.
Kathy says in the Midwest they do this because of the kids in school. I do remember them having trick-or-treating on different nights. Like you can't trick-or-treat on Halloween in some communities. They'll set it up for a Friday or a Saturday.
Well,
I don't think that's very prominent.
Earlier, though, that say, for instance, Halloween's on Wednesday, I feel like a lot of people would be celebrating this coming weekend instead.
Right.
On Saturday, the people have a lot of parties.
I celebrated a week ago. Huge Halloween party.
Yeah, and so in my area at my house, I noticed that less and less kids come around to the streets every year.
Yep,
so
me
I
too.
feel like
I'm done. We're shutting our lights off
aren't
this
even
year.
going trick-or-treating as much as they were in the past. At least I've noticed that even where my mom lives, she said the same thing, not as many kids come anymore. So I feel like more families and parents are doing it over the weekend versus during the week and maybe just going to a couple houses. Because what time does it really end on the weekday on a Wednesday? What time do people stop going trick-or-treating?
I think that there is something in, 9 or 10 or something like that? I don't know. I don't have little ones, but it's about that time.
Yeah. But I don't even think that many kids do it anymore. They do trunk or treats. They go to places where they can go, safe zones, and that's where they do it. So I think that's starting to die.
I wonder what the impetus is for that. Is it just like a concern over safety?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't. It went from letting the kids go to you go with the parents.
Yeah,
the parents go. Now it's just they're not doing it. And I'm noticing the kids that come into my neighborhood, they're from other parts of. They're not from my neighborhood.
Right.
They're all coming in from some other neighborhood. Or
so maybe it's
like
time for a change. Maybe it's time that we just consider, okay, let's try to do something a little differently.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want my kid to be going door to door anymore. I don't like that tradition. So. Trunk or treat, do something else, have the parties, do stuff like that. I think we got bigger fish to fry. I think Super Bowl Sunday should be moved to Super Bowl Saturday.
That's a whole nother.
That's a big part. That's another discussion.
Speaking of calling into work the next day, we had someone text us this morning and tell JQ to wash his mouth out with soap after saying that football's on Sundays. That's a holy tradition. Don't mess with that.
I get people angry. I get people
but
I'm worked up.
I mean, I don't want to change the subject, but Super Bowl, that's where people are really out late and people are doing it up big.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Partying
people are
hard.
calling in the next day. Right? Or like people like us, we can't really enjoy the whole day because we have to go to bed early. So I definitely think they should move on to Saturday because people have huge parties for the Super Bowl.
You could party on Friday, then you party all day Saturday, and then you watch the game, and then you love hanging out at people's houses after the game. The game's over at about 8 or 9 o'clock, then you hang out, you party till 11, 12 o'clock.
Sherry's not buying this, JQ.
No.
He says, boo-hoo, the kids are tired for school for one day. Calm down.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, most people are saying, no, leave it alone. People are like, really, let's move all the holidays to a weekend, really?
I mean, that's not what's being proposed here. But this is one of those holidays where it's important to have that quality family time, right? Like, that's really what Trick or Treat is all about. You let the kids dress up and be kids for a second, you know, and sort of enjoy. It's not one of those things they get to do year round. And I think it, you know, we talk, I don't mean to sound like an old man here. We talk a lot about how nowadays, like, social interaction has changed so much because people are staring at their cell phones and not interacting with people in their communities. People don't know their neighbors anymore.
That's true.
And this is one of those traditions where, you know, especially if you go house to house in your neighborhood, you get to know the people that are a part of your community. I think it brings everyone a little closer together. There's not that divisiveness. You start to understand the man who lives next door, even if his political or religious beliefs are different than your own.
The guy with the van?
Yeah, the guy with the van.
Van man?
Maybe don't knock on the guy with the van.
That guy. Just go past him.
But just skip past his house.
No, my neighbors, man, we're all hi-bye kind of thing. We know each other. We got each other's numbers, but we don't use them very often. And so.
What if we did this? What if we compromised here? I'm a compromise kind of guy.
Okay.
What if we kept the holiday itself, All Hallows Eve, on the 31st, because that's where it should be, but we just said, hey, listen, we're not going to trick-or-treat on that day. We're going to have trick-or-treating the last Saturday in October. Call it something else. Call it Trick-or-Treat Day. You know, call it Costume Day or something.
But then you're splitting it up.
So,
It's like saying we're going to have Christmas on this day, but then we open presents on this day.
Okay.
Christmas Eve, everybody opens, a lot of people
It
open
can be a little
presents.
confusing there.
It is a little confusing.
Wait,
Compromise can be confusing.
With the compromise, why don't we keep it on the day,
Okay.
but just end trick-or-treating like at 7 o'clock?
That's too early. Because so many parents don't get out of work until 5 or 6, and that's traditional parents.
Yeah.
We did have someone that texted in this morning that's like, don't forget, there are a lot of us that work nights and weekends.
True.
So moving it to Saturday doesn't help all of us. In fact, you're alienating
You're
a
never
whole
going to
different
satisfy
population.
everybody, though.
That's true.
You know, you're never going to satisfy anybody. I think, okay, let's do it to 8 o'clock. You get home, change the kids, do what you need to do, take them out for an hour. Like, do they really need that much candy anyway?
Yes.
No,
Yes, they
because you're going to go through it all. You're going to take half of their candy because they shouldn't be having that much candy. So let them go for an hour, have some fun, take cute pictures, and then call it a night.
Shelby says, nah, they be tripping.
George
y'all be tripping.
George is scared because he says he agrees with me, so that kind of freaks me out.
Wait a minute. I want to know where Melissa lives because Melissa said at her house they have 300 kids.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Where
imagine
do
there
you
are
live,
neighborhoods
girl?
that do have a lot of kids that come through. But
That's
I think
a
it's,
lot of kids.
especially in rural areas where houses are spaced out a little bit. I don't think you get as much traffic. John says Halloween's set to the equinox. That's not right, is it? That's not right at all.
No.
Okay. John, sorry, you got the equinox confused. The autumnal equinox is not October 31st.
No, maybe daylight savings time?
Yeah, but that's not that date either.
No.
And that date bounces around, doesn't it?
Try,
Daylight
though.
savings
Good
time?
try.
Yeah.
That was
We've had a couple
valiant
people
effort.
say, Ricky and Myra said that Halloween isn't even a holiday, in their opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't.
isn't.
It isn't actually a holiday recognized
We
here.
don't
I
get
mean,
time off. We
Yeah,
don't get
good
paid
luck getting the
for
day
it.
off in the United States on All Hallows Eve. Now, I do think that in Europe it's more of a holiday than it is in the United States.
Well,
I could be wrong
I'll move
about
into
that.
Europe then.
I had a couple people text about that this morning, saying in Europe it's more of a big deal. A lot of people texting in the comments here. We appreciate you guys being a part of the show, by the way. They all say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That seems to be a very common mantra. Here in the comments. We're going to get to a few more of your responses in just a few minutes, but we do have some segments to get to in the show, including the ICYMI. In case you missed it, the ICYMI this morning, a very funny story that we had concerning someone asking for free food. Check it out. Dogs will do just about anything to get their paws on people food, but one pup in Oklahoma City is taking it to a whole another level. The dog's owner shared this video on Facebook saying, if you see my dog at the McDonald's, quit feeding her.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently that dog is named Princess. She sneaks out at night and pretends to be a stray to beg for burgers. The owner did some recon work, even caught Princess in the act. I mean, we've all snuck out late at night to beg for burgers, but for dogs to do it.
To know where the McDonald's was, to head over there and look so cute sitting there.
Please just feed me.
That is hysterical. Smart dog.
Whoa. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Darn it.
That wasn't scripted. Emma and I
Jinx, you owe
actually
me a
just said
pop.
the same thing at the same time.
So I want to know, how is he getting out every night? Like,
Well, some people have like doggy doors and stuff. Maybe just sneaking out to use the bathroom.
Jumps the
Outside?
fence, jumps
By
the
McDonald's,
fence, and that's it. Yeah.
I would be scared. What if he didn't come back?
Well, we come back after you get your Big Mac. I mean, if you saw a
So
dog
cute,
like that
though,
hanging out by
yeah.
the drive-thru,
Yeah.
I'd toss her a couple fries. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the way that the dog was set up, just like right there,
Yeah.
like right where the drive-thru window is, just waiting.
She's kind of cute too. She's lucky someone
Yeah.
didn't like throw her in the car and take her.
That's true.
You know.
Or somebody called the pound.
That's why I always keep the collar on my dog, even though he's an inside dog.
Yeah.
He never goes out. I always do because there's always that fluke. There's that the garage could be open. He gets out.
Dogs are so smart. Like, seriously, they do this stuff all the time. Like, one time my friend accidentally locked my dog out of my house, and I couldn't find her or find him for the longest time. So then we're searching all over. A few minutes later, I open the door, and he's waiting right there by the front door. I'm like, hey, Milo. Like, he
I love
came back
dogs.
home.
I can't wait till you get a dog.
One of these days. My downtown apartment situation is not ideal.
Well, you're
for that.
flying, right? You're young and single. You need to be seeing the world. But when you get one, it's pretty cool.
I know. I can't wait, man.
When he gets
That
a girlfriend, he can
companionship.
get a dog.
Oh, you guys are just grilling me now. Let's get back to some more of your Halloween
some friends.
responses here.
When you get some friends.
Linda echoing the sentiment that we brought up a minute ago. Not all parents are off on weekends, and it is a religious holiday for centuries. What's next, Thanksgiving or Christmas? A lot of people seem concerned that Christmas is going to get moved. Thanksgiving changes every year.
Yeah.
But it's always on a Thursday.
It is always on Thursday.
Yeah, because we do Black Friday shopping.
Right.
Angela said, my kids are done by 7 or 8 anyway. Why make things complicated? Which is true. Somebody said, just buy your kids a bag of candy and put it under their pillow like the Tooth Fairy.
There you go.
I go with that, actually. That wouldn't be a bad deal.
The Tooth Fairy leaves money. Parents, you'll leave candy.
With restrictions.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, Melissa responded back to me. She lives in Gilbert. That's where she gets 300 kids. I'm coming to your area, Melissa. I will be there. Do you guys also give out the full-size candy bars?
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
But if you have 300 of those, that's a
lot.
pretty penny you're spending on Halloween there. Got to order those things in bulk. Candace says, this does mean All Hallows Eve. It's All Saints Day. You can't change everything. I'm glad when it's on a school night because I don't like it when the kids come to the door late. She doesn't answer the door after 8 o'clock. If it is on a Saturday, you are going to get that. You're going to get the kids staying out
Later
until 10 or
kids,
11
yeah.
or whatever. What is the right time to stop answering the door if you are giving out candy to the kids?
10.
10?
That's late, I think.
It is late. But
10 is the cutoff, I think.
That's about
I think
it,
that's the
yeah.
universal
so
cutoff.
late.
Oh, and also the international sign. Parents, you need to teach
Turn off
kids
your
this.
light.
When those lights are off, don't have the kid knock. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes kids will knock anyways. They will. Brenda from Armstrong, did we mention her? From Dewey, Arizona. Dewey, which is tiny. I've been through Dewey before. She says they get over 350 kids.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of Halloween, by the way, some fresh squeezed juice to get to
yes.
here. You're not going to believe what one city in Michigan is doing about a certain costume. Tell me about it, Vanessa.
Okay, so you guys might remember earlier this week we asked you what your biggest fears were, right? Or phobias. Well, it turns out clowns was on the top of almost everyone's list. And now, one town in Michigan, just like Paul said, apparently agrees with all the clown haters out there. Officials in Oak Park at first said kids were allowed to dress as their favorite spooky characters for their city's annual Boo Bash. Then they had a change of heart and they kicked clowns off the list of acceptable costumes. However, people got pretty mad on Facebook saying Halloween is a time to be scared. So the city manager ended up reversing the ban. But look at some of those costumes are so scary.
There's a whole bunch of scary costumes that
Yeah.
have nothing to do with clowns. Yeah, I wonder if this has something to do with all of the creepy clown sightings, like were like stalking people and stuff.
Yes, remember, wasn't it a couple years ago that there was
Yeah, there was like a rash of
a
clown
person
things
dressing
going
up
on.
as a clown,
Yeah.
doing inappropriate things?
Yeah, I wonder if that has something to do with it. I'm glad they reversed the ban, though. That's something so silly to draw a line in the sand about. Like, who cares what you dress up as?
That's the only thing that is scary about Halloween. Not the only thing, but one of the things that is scary about Halloween is that anybody can dress up and get away with murder, like bad stuff. You know what I mean?
Not literal murder. That's not a real thing. Vanessa did not tell you it's okay to kill
No,
someone.
I'm not saying, no, I said it's not okay. So, like, you know, people can go cause crime and do things, and they're covered up, so nobody will ever know who they are.
What's with men that dress up as women? That's creepy.
Oh, come on, man. Now you're just making it personal. Listen, okay, so let me explain to the people here.
That you like wearing dresses?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging,
No,
okay?
but
Please.
he likes wearing dresses.
He loves wearing dresses.
It's freeing. For a couple years in a row, I went in drag. Well, not in drag, but as Red Riding Hood. Because I couldn't think of a costume, and I went to the Halloween store on like October 30th or something. In like the selection, if you've ever been, like the day before Halloween, is pretty much
Oh, I've been there.
non-existent.
You're
just
pulling
like,
through
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't have a lot of options here.
What do you do?
One of the things I was able to find was like a Little Red Riding costume designed for men.
I was going to say, for you, for
Yeah,
a
it
guy.
had like the lacy stockings and the hood and the little like frilly skirt and the whole thing. I looked ridiculous in it. So I bought it one year. I wore it to work and asked my boss if I could be on air in it, and I got the most profound hell no that I've ever heard in my life. And so when you spend money on a costume, like I'm an economist, I guess. I didn't want to just throw the money away and end up like buying a new costume the next year, so I wore it the next year and then the year after that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
threw it away because it is gross now, and I'm not going to wash my Little Red Riding Hood costume. But there are pictures on the internet of me dressed as a lady.
So if you run into them, that's
Yeah.
the explanation.
The hardest part is finding heels that fit.
What's the newest costume that you would wear? Since Red Riding Hood is out the door, you threw it out.
I don't have a costume yet this year.
A fairy?
I got a quick idea. I did this one year. I got a big old box of cornflakes.
Okay.
And I cut it up, put like red paint all over it, and I put a big plastic knife in it.
Serial killer.
Serial killer.
That's easy.
And of course, it was my idea, and the guy I'm running with, Nick Lowry, kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, is like, "Oh, that's a great idea." I'm like, "Nick, that's my idea."
Frickin' Nick.
So we both
Had the same
Nick the
costume.
Kick. He's out there. You
I
know
haven't
Nick.
even purchased my costume yet.
Really?
Although I did go to Germany a couple weeks ago and I had a dirndl.
Humble brag.
Yeah, and I bought 2 dirndls over there.
You bought
But-
2?
Yeah, 2 of them. 'cause
You
they
didn't
were
tell me that.
great price. Great price.
Get
I bought
outta
a red
here.
one and a purple one.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
because
that.
Oktoberfest is coming to an end and they were trying to get rid of the outfits, so I bought 2 of them. However, I already took lots of pictures of them and I posted already for my trip, so that means I can't wear it again for Halloween. I have
Yeah,
to
but those are real from Germany. You can
Yeah.
wear those the rest of your life. You can actually wear those to formal events.
He gets so excited about high quality dirndls.
Oh yeah, heck
Yeah.
yeah! And
Oh my
lederhosen. My lederhosen, it doesn't
When
chafe, it
I was
doesn't
getting
chap.
ready for this trip,
leather.
Jimmy prepped me every day before for like a month.
How to hold the beer mug
Yeah.
without, because you could really offend a lot of German people if you hold the beer mug a different
How
way.
are you supposed to hold the
And
beer
the way
mug?
you hold it, it's a Prost. You hold it more,
Prost
always
means
pointing to
cheers.
the north,
To the north.
Bavaria. Yeah.
What if you're not good with cardinal directions?
That's I'm just
go to
trying to help
Germany.
her out the proper way to eat a brat.
There was a proper way to tie your bow.
Yes.
So if you were single, it was on your left side. If you were married, it was on your right side. If you were a widow, it was in the middle.
Ooh.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So guys could pick out which girls they want.
You got to get
go
yourself some
after, I guess.
lederhosen.
Apparently.
It's good to watch.
That bow thing should be adopted universally. That make talking to
Everybody
people
wears
in bars a
bows.
lot easier.
Good stuff, man.
No, he's married. She's married. Don't talk.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
let's get to our extra shot real quick, and we'll wrap it up with a couple more Halloween comments.
All right, 12 News is everything Arizona, and we are taking you everywhere from A to Z. Tomorrow on Today in AZ, we're sampling Peoria's best of the best when we dive into our must-eats menu. Look at that.
Oh, I can't wait to get some more food in the show. We do this pretty much every Friday. It just becomes a very foodie
Friday.
show. Yeah. I've never eaten anywhere in Peoria. In fact, I've only been out there to golf. So this will be nice if I get back out there to get to the links, find a place to stop by and get some oven-baked pizza. Oh, that
Never
looks
go wrong
good.
with pizza.
Come on now. All right, a couple more Halloween comments before we wrap up the show. What do we got,
Okay.
Vanessa?
Let's see. Someone said yes, it would be awesome. They agree with it. Someone said no. Jennifer said no, leave it alone. Stop messing with tradition to fit your needs. Okay, I agree. And then someone had the same thoughts that I did. It said, I have to find it here real quick. It just said basically leave it on the day, but change the hours, like I said. Like end it a little earlier instead of keeping everyone out late.
Tandra says, I think Fridays would be better. They get to go to school in the costume and then go out all night and have the parties the next day. That actually makes a lot of sense because I know the school element is a part of it. You know, the kids look forward to dressing up for school.
For school.
Are we going to wear costumes on air?
I'm usually allowed to.
Oh, well, you guys are fancy. JQ, you going to wear a costume?
Nah.
No?
Because I was just my lederhosen, and I don't want to offend anybody. That's all I have. And the
I
serial
think-
killer thing doesn't work good.
Doesn't
'cause
leave
of
much
what
to the
we wrote.
imagination, the leader.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I think I
Very
was a
tight.
cat one year.
Yeah.
Devil.
I think you can. I think we could wear stuff on the air as long as it was somewhat tasteful and didn't, you know. But what happens if you have to report on hard news and
Yeah, that's
you're
the
you're
issue.
wearing a dress?
So if you don't see Paul and Emma dress up, that's why. But I think Jimmy and I can dress up since we do traffic and weather. Greg said every year, even the weekends, I have noticed the majority of the kids come between 6:30 and 7:30. Very seldom do we have kids after 8.
All right.
I think I'm going to go by Easley's and grab something. I really
It's
will.
closing.
Yeah, they're
I
shutting
know
down, right?
they're shutting down. They've been open forever.
You know what then? So they're probably going to have a major sale right before they close down.
I'm thinking. Stock up on our dresses.
Yes. So that's another good thing that I do after Halloween. I go to all the stores and I buy things that are half off or on clearance, and I use them for the
You're
next
so
year.
thrifty.
Yes, it's great.
You
So I
guys
have
are
a few
so
items.
passionate about this topic. I'm impressed at all the exclamation points in these comments.
I love it.
Thanks for being a part of the discussion, guys. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow one last time for the after show at 7:30 on the 12 News Facebook page. You can check out 12 Today, or formerly 12 Today, now Today in AZ, 4:30 to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. We'll see you on TV. We'll see you online. Take care, and don't dress as a clown if you're going.
Mwah.